The investigation into imports of aluminum sheet worth hundreds of millions of dollars a year was an unusually aggressive move by the United States. Less than 3 weeks after U.S. President Donald Trump met in Beijing with China's President Xi Jinping, the U.S. launched a new trade investigation into possible dumping and subsidies for imports of aluminum sheet from China. The investigation into imports of aluminum sheet worth hundreds of millions of dollars a year was an unusually aggressive move by the United States. For the first time since 1991, the U.S. Commerce Department said it launched the investigation on its own initiative, rather than responding to a request from a U.S. company. This practice by the U.S. side is very rare in the history of international trade, China's Ministry of Commerce said in a statement. China expresses strong dissatisfaction towards the tendency of trade protectionism displayed by the United States. The U.S. Commerce Department said Tuesday it opened the probe into possible dumping and inappropriate subsidies of common alloy aluminum sheet from China, which may be harming U.S. industry. President Trump made it clear from day one that unfair trade practices will not be tolerated under this administration, and today we take one more step in fulfilling that promise, Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross said in a statement. We are self-initiating the first trade case in over a quarter century, showing once again that we stand in constant vigilance in support of free, fair, and reciprocal trade. The U.S. imported more than $600 million of aluminum sheet from China last year. The product, used in building and construction, transportation, and making appliances, may benefit from subsidies and may be sold in the U.S. market below cost, the statement said. The government could retaliate by imposing punitive import duties on the Chinese aluminum. China's Commerce Ministry said the aluminum trade was mutually beneficial to China and the U.S. Man-made obstruction to the normal aluminum trade will harm the interests of both China and the U.S., the statement said, which was attributed to Wang Hejun, the director of the Trade Remedy and Investigation Bureau. China said it would adopt the necessary measures to protect the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese enterprises, but did not detail what those measures would be. Washington's use of the rare tactic kept a series of adversarial maneuvers on trade with China, and came shortly after President Donald Trump's 2-week trip to Asia this month, which included a stop in Beijing. Among the steps taken was the Trump administration in April launching national security investigations into Chinese imports of aluminum and steel, warning that they threatened to undermine producers crucial to U.S. defense needs. The U.S. also has slapped punitive duties on imports of Chinese aluminum foil and plywood, and announced earlier Tuesday it had done likewise for imports of Chinese-made tool chests and cabinets. Trump rose to office on a nationalist economic agenda, squarely blaming alleged unfair Chinese trading practices for U.S. job losses and economic hardship, part of a combative overall stance that has focused upending prevailing trade policies to reduce deficits. The Trump administration has launched 65% more trade investigations than the final year of the Obama administration, with 79 opened compared to just 48 in 2016, according to the Commerce Department.